What does it actually look like when a teacher stops running on empty and starts showing up differently in the classroom, at home, in her own head? Is it even possible? Well, guess what? I can tell you that it is, because today you're not going to hear it from me, but you're going to hear it directly from teachers in the classroom right now doing the work. It's not just polished stories or like rah, 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 is real teachers and the strategies that are actually working. So let's get into it. Welcome to Educate and Rejuvenate, the podcast to help you revitalize your teaching, renew your spirit, and reignite your passion for life. I'm your host, Kelsey Sorensen, a former teacher, current homeschool mom, published author, and certified life coach. Whether you are a teacher in a traditional classroom, homeschool from your kitchen table, or anywhere in between, I am on a mission to help you not only survive as an educator, but thrive. Get ready to uplevel your skills with incredible insights from guest experts and discover the missing piece, rejuvenating yourself. Are you ready to both educate and rejuvenate? Let's go. Okay, I am so excited for this one because it's not just me talking at you today on the podcast, even though I love doing that, but this episode is something a little different. What you're about to hear is a panel recording from last year's summer 2025 event. This recording you're hearing is a conversation I got to have with a group of our Educate and Rejuvenate Club members who volunteered to show up and answer questions live. And I have to tell you, I could have listened to them for hours. We probably could have gone on for hours. We have teachers from all over, from different grade levels, different years of experiences, some who have been with Educate and Rejuvenate since the beginning, and some who found us just less than a month before this was recorded. We have classroom teachers, there's a special ed teacher, a homeschool mom, someone just starting a second career in teaching. And what came out of this conversation is that, honestly, and what came out of this conversation is one of those things that I think is going to land differently for each of you depending on where you are right now. And whether you have been listening to this podcast or coming to our events for years, or you're in the club, or you just stumbled on this podcast today, I want you to listen for the person in this group who sounds like you, because I think that you're going to really resonate with at least one, if not all, of the amazing people on this panel. So let's get into it. All right, so next up, we have our panel with some of our incredible Educate and Rejuvenate Club members who are going to be answering all of your questions about anything, about teaching, about the club, about their experience, about things that they've learned and applied in their lives, because I don't want you to just hear it from me. A lot of these people you're hearing from, you already heard a little bit of their stories from me on the slides, but now you get to hear directly from them. So that is going to be great. So first is Chris. So Chris, we'll have you. You were the first one to sign up. I love it.
Okay. All right. Wow. Okay.
So
That's
like,
kind of
I get to
funny.
go first. Maybe I won't do that next time.
Okay. Well, it's kind of funny because at school, I'm known as being the tortoise because I'm always apparently last. So, okay. I'm in San Diego, California. I am now, okay. It's saying I'm muted.
No,
Or
you're not muted.
I'm not muted. Okay.
No, you're good.
Okay, perfect. I'm from San Diego, California. I am now I'm the intervention teacher at my school. I'm at a K-8 school, so I do see kindergartners through eighth graders. This is going into now will be my fourth year doing intervention, but I've been there. This will be my 30th year. So throughout the years, I've taught most of the grades between kindergarten through eighth. I've spent the longest doing kindergarten and first. Then I went into the middle school. So I did sixth through eighth, and then I did third for several years. So like I said, now I'm doing intervention and I love it. All right.
I love it.
Thank you.
You got such a wide range of experience to share with all of us too. I love whenever you share about what you're doing in the club. So thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Well,
Okay,
and I love dogs,
Stephanie.
so
Oh,
they're always around.
yes, Chris loves her dogs, and we love your dogs. We love when they come on camera during coaching and calls.
Thank you.
Okay, Stephanie, are you here? You're next on our list, but we can go out of order too. Okay, I don't see Stephanie right now. Jen, you're next on the list.
All right. Well, I'm also from California, but I'm from Northern California, a small town in the Sacramento Valley. I am a homeschool mom of two. We've been homeschooling for 6 years. My son is going into fourth grade, and my daughter is going into preschool this year. And we're also a neurodivergent family. So my husband has ADHD, my son has ADHD, and was just diagnosed as high functioning autism. I'm actually in the process of testing, and my daughter is 3, so no diagnosis, but I would be a little shocked if she was neuronormative given our family dynamics. So that is me, and I've been a club member for 2 years, and I joined the club for kind of training, but also validation as a teacher. And it's been a really welcoming group and very inclusive of homeschool, which is not the case with all teaching communities. So I really like that it includes homeschoolers, and I wanted to join the panel in case there are other homeschool moms out there, and just to say, yes, this is for you too.
Yes, it definitely is. We love our teachers and we love our homeschool parents. Like, and we all get along. It's amazing. Like, we all love kids. We all love teaching them. And what I feel like what I've noticed actually is it seems like a lot of homeschool parents are actually a little more resistant to join with the teachers because like, oh, we're like, I feel like sometimes as a homeschool mom myself, we feel like, oh, are we like not accepted with teachers? But it's like a lot of teachers, we see problems in the school system all the time. We understand
Mm.
that there are certain things that aren't perfect about it. And so like we're like, yeah, we all love teaching kids. We all have the same goal at the end of the day.
Yeah. And my husband is a classroom teacher. So he's teaching at his third school. The first 2 schools, I had a lot of teachers like, "You're homeschooling? Why would you do that? Like, you don't have a master's degree." And I'm like, "I don't really need one for preschool, but thanks." Uh, I'm teaching colors and numbers. It's fine. But this school actually that Mike's at, now a lot of the teacher families are also homeschool families. So they teach in the classroom, but they also understand that even with a great school, there can be some issues, and there's a lot of good reasons to homeschool. So the school he's at is much more homeschool friendly.
That's great. Yeah, and so in your I love you have public school and homeschool in your family. You're like, yeah, we get
Hmm.
both worlds, you know?
Yes.
Okay, Linda, is Linda here? I saw Linda earlier. I'm not sure if she's here now, which is totally fine. I get how these things go. Hannah is next on our list. I know you're here, Hannah.
Hi, I'm Hannah Guajardo, and this is my second full year in the club. I joined 2 years ago at Educate and Rejuvenate, and I am a teacher. Well, obviously I'm a teacher, but I've been teaching special education for about, this will be starting my 20th year, and I did 14 years in middle school, then I did 4 years in, I guess, elementary, and I'm about to go to my back to middle school this year. So I'm really excited for the challenge and just to see what I've learned in elementary and how I can bring that into the middle school, especially for my struggling learners.
I'm so excited for that new journey for you too, Hannah, and I'm excited to hear about it. Sarah, you're next on our list. Are you ready?
Hello. I have been a member of the club for since the beginning. I've used my wife teacher mommy beginning from almost 6 years ago because my son will be 6 and Kelsey's little boy we were pregnant at the same time when I
Yes,
bought the
we
curriculum way
were.
back when, or my teacher planner.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, it's been a while. So I teach, well, I've been a special education teacher for 15 years. And so I use the curriculum every day in my classroom, and now I'm transitioning this year to being a process consultant. So I'll be doing special ed compliance with a different district. So I will be using my curriculum in a different way.
I love seeing all of you. You're like, oh, you've got these fun new journeys this year. I can't wait to hear about them. I love it. Vanessa, you ready?
Hello, I'm Vanessa. I joined the club 4 years ago at Educate and Rejuvenate, and I started for like using the resources and stuff, but I stay because I love the coaching and all those things that come with it. This will be my 14th year teaching, my 6th year teaching first grade, but I've kind of jumped all over elementary school. So I've done early childhood special ed, kindergarten first, second, and fourth. So kind of all over the place.
I love it. And see, we've got teachers like in a wide range of grades and who taught a wide range of grades. And we have people on this panel who have been here from the beginning or for 1 year or 2 years, or I was about to say 5 years. I'm like, wait, we haven't been around for 5 years. I mean, we've been around, like Educate, but the club hasn't. So that would be a lie. But there are some of you like Sarah who's like, oh yeah, I was buying your resources way back before that even existed. So fun. Okay, and then Andrea, you're finally up.
Hi, my name is Andrea Daly. I am from Southwest Montana. I teach in a small town, but I live in a different town, so I get that morning commute where I like to listen to my podcasts. I have been a member of Educate and Rejuvenate for 2 years, but this is my third conference. Originally, I had seen there was an ad on Facebook, and in our district, they make us attend conferences in October. And they came out with a new thing that went in our CBA is that if we took something in the summer, it could replace those days. So then we wouldn't have to go during the October days. So I'm like, oh, this is perfect. It was $20. I'm like, awesome, great. And they approved it prior to me going. So I did it and I just fell in love with it. And I'm like, I wanted to go to that special day, that third special day. So I'm like, well, I don't want to miss out. So I'm going to join because I want to see what they're doing on that day. So I joined then with every intention to totally indulge and go to everything and do everything. And it turned out that life was crazy and it kind of took the back burner. So then when I went last year to the summer event, they offered a great opportunity, which I jumped on, and I figured that it was going to be a way for me to be accountable. If I was going to invest my time, invest so much into it, then I was going to be accountable to attend the live sessions or attend the coaching calls. My favorite thing is the book clubs. So, and I tend
Yes,
to
and we're
talk
doing
a
those
lot,
again.
and I tend to
And
talk a
we
lot,
love
and
what
I
you have to
overpower
share.
conversations. But I try not to be. So that's when I fear that I'm too much, but I like sharing. So, and then I was able to, oh, thanks, Chris. I was able to get 3 of my coworkers from my building to come to the summer event that
Yay,
is going
so
on now.
fun.
So I was so happy that I get to share this experience with them.
I love that. I love that you shared with them so they could come and join the Educate and Rejuvenate fun as well. And I love also that you come to the book clubs and you share. I just wanted to add, and I think I told you this before on one of the book clubs because you shared that same, like, I feel like I'm too much. You're never too much here. We love everything you have to share. And whenever you do share stuff, it's always very valuable. Like, I feel like I learn so much. It's not just about me and all that I share. It's about when we do these book clubs and when we do these discussions, what we share with each other as well. See, Danae loves that you are a sharer. I am too, and often think I'm too much. So you are not, you are perfect. Yes, it's easy to tell someone else that too. So Danae, if you feel like that's yourself, tell it to Andrea and then tell it right back to yourself. Like, oh yeah, and I can believe that about me too. We'll just do some coaching right in here. Oh, Sarah is in Missouri, by the way. I forgot to mention that. She was out for lunch with your work besties. I love it. And I love, Sarah, that you were like, while you were doing your intro, you were just walking into the car and like, it was perfect. Okay, and then Melinda is here too. So Melinda, you ready?
Sure. My name is Melinda Levine, and I've only been a member for less than a month. Um, why did I sign up
I
for
love
this
it.
panel? I don't know, but I thought it
love
would
it.
be, I thought it would be fun. I'm going to start my second year in teaching fourth grade. This is a second career for me. I was a probation officer for 18 years and retired, and then started subbing. And oh my gosh, why haven't I been a teacher my whole life? This is great. So I'm excited. I did have to go back to school and get another master's degree, and got that. And so I'm really, really, really excited to be a teacher.
That is amazing. And I love it. I love that you're just like, oh yeah, I'm doing this. I'm getting my degree. I'm becoming a teacher. I love this. I was always meant to do it. And some people let that stop them. They're like, oh, well, I can't start a new career now, but yes, you can. And you did. And now you're here in the club and on the panel like a month in. Like, Melinda, let's go. I love this. See,
I don't really feel all that confident all the time as a teacher, just because there's so much that I think it should be this way, but it's not. And it should be this way, but that's not practical. So sometimes my confidence just goes bleh. So that's why I'm here. I want to become more confident in what I do. Especially because I love it so much.
Yes. And the fact that, I mean, you're speaking with so much confidence and leadership right now. Like, so just like bring that with you. Like, you radiate as you came on. So I'm so glad that you're here, Melinda.
Thank you.
Oh, you've got people cheering for you in the chat too. So I love that.
That's cool.
Okay. So I've got like a bunch of questions, more than we could even possibly get to. So we can do those, but also I would love for, if anybody else who is here, this is your opportunity to ask questions to those who are on the panel. And what we'll have to do is kind of like, if you feel like, probably for every question, we won't have all, I think there's 8 of you answer, because that would probably just take a really long time. So maybe on this question, so Deborah, I'm not familiar with Super Kids reading curriculum. Have any of you used, she has thoughts on Super Kids reading curriculum. Have any of you used that? No. No, that might be an awesome question for the app discussion, actually, because you might have more of a chance with more teachers that somebody has used it. But yeah, feel free to start a discussion in there, because maybe someone else will have used it. Aaliyah says she's also a late start teacher. She was lucky to stay at home with daughters, then become a teacher when they went to school, got my master's, and I don't know what else I would do besides teaching. I love hearing these stories. Okay, so one question, let's see, let's go with, what is something, because overwhelm has come up a lot on this panel. So what is something that you do when overwhelm comes up in teaching? Just like one thing that you do. I would love to go first on that question. Joelle says cry in the chat. Like, so after the initial panic, what is one thing, especially because we're interviewing those who are in the club, you're learning different strategies. What is it that you found has been the most helpful for you when you feel that overwhelm start to come up?
For me, I think it's just taking those deep breaths and just kind of making sure that I'm regulated, when I'm in a dysregulated state, I make sure that I'm more balanced and more aware of what I need in that moment. And like the things that you talked about today, like the human connection, maybe or the physical connection, or doing something creative. I like those types. And even if you don't get to hug somebody for that many seconds or whatever, you can have some kind of connection with another person, or you can be creative, and just always making sure, for me, those 2 things, and then just taking deep breaths. So those are the things that I do.
I love that, Hannah.
I try to just pause and remind myself that I don't have to deal with this issue right now. Like it's better to stop, take a step back, and then come back to it when everybody's regulated than to try to force the issue right now. And one thing that's been really helpful for me is asking myself, am I safe? Because I have some trauma history and I tend to get very worked up when my kids do certain behaviors. And I have to stop and say, wait, I am safe. Like this doesn't feel safe, but I am physically safe. This is going to be okay.
I love that. And I love that this is something we talked about actually during this event, but you have gotten to the point where you're like, okay, yeah, I find myself actually using this, because there's one thing hearing it during your presentation and another to be like, oh, yeah, this is something I actually do now. So I love that you do that, Jen. That's incredible. Did anyone else have something they wanted to share? Chris had her hand up.
Yeah, so I've had to really make some adjustments these past few months because, well, those of you that have seen me around here, I did have a service dog with me all the time because I had learned the hard way when stress goes untreated, just how bad it can be. And so, I always had my dog there with me. And so when I was feeling really stressed, he would actually alert me even before I was consciously aware. And so he would be right there and I would just be petting him and that would automatically, regulate me because, he would bump me or rub me or nudge me and I would just instantly start petting him and that would calm me. And he passed away. And at first I had about 4 months where he needed to retire first because he had cancer. So I kind of eased into, learning to work without him because he was at home sick. And then of course he passed. And so I've been learning how to cope, without him. And so I've had to learn little things, like when I feel all those things coming on, pausing, breathing, but I actually pray. I usually don't do it out loud because I'm, with students, but I'll just tell them we're taking a moment or I'm taking a moment and I'm actually praying in my head or under my breath. And, and sometimes like even this, if I'm getting frustrated, maybe it's with technology or whatever the situation is, and I'll, and the kids can tell, or if they're being rowdy, and I'll just say, we need a moment, and I can pray in my head. And I got a little fidget ring. It's not the same as petting my dog, but is something.
And you gave
Um,
me one of those.
oh yeah,
So Chris and I, remember?
yeah.
So
That's right.
I was
the friendship one.
we were
yeah.
on a coaching call and I was like, oh, I'm headed to San Diego. I just said it. And she's like, I'm in San Diego. I'm like, okay, let's grab lunch. So we did. Like, so if I'm ever in the area around one of you, I would love to do that. I want to do more in-person meetups. Like
That was one of the best days of my life. I loved it. It was so fun.
Oh, but yes, I love all the different things you shared, like taking that moment, taking that pause, saying a prayer, your fidget ring, all those things that can help you to ground yourself. I love what Jen shared about coming to that moment, reminding yourself that you are safe. There are so many strategies that we can use. And even just recognizing, like Kristen Neff shares in her self-compassion, the 3 things that shared humanity, that this overwhelm is coming up for all of us as we share and we find our ways to get through it and to cope with it and to get out of it also. So I love that. Did anyone else have anything they want to share on that question, or I can bring up another one, or anyone in the chat have any questions for our awesome panel here? And also I love what you're all sharing in the chat. We're getting more wisdom and ideas in the chat, such as like a dance break. I always love a dance break. And again, that's movement, right? Like we talked about in the sessions.
I also love throwing on the meditations that are inside the app. Like there's some short ones too, which are great for at school, but then those kind of play in my head and remind me too when I don't have them. And I know Hannah's always said, whenever you're having a bad day, there's always a replay. So that's one thing I will do sometimes too, because just sometimes listening to other people or like you or Chrissy or your voices just kind of calm me down and make me feel that I'm safe. And those kind of things help me as well.
I love that, Vanessa, that you use that. You pull out the app and you're like, I'm going to do meditation or I'm going to put on a coaching call in those moments of overwhelm. That's why you have that to use at any time available to you on the go, on your phone. That's why like a lot of you are using the desktop version for the event, and that's wonderful. But also you can download the app and then you have it like wherever. Like I'm driving home from school, I'm going to turn on a coaching replay and I've got that. So love that, Vanessa. Okay, let's see. Deanna is excited for a better me and a better year. Yes, I'm so excited for this coming school year. Nicole says, I legit turned off the lights in my class and I played on the ground and closed our eyes for 5 minutes. They asked for it after a couple of times. Yes, when you find those ways to have those grounding moments, they will ask for it. And it's going to help your classroom actually be much more productive, or your homeschool, or, you know, time with your own kids as well. Hannah, I am teacher stealing that phrase. Yes, when you have a bad day, there's always a replay. I love it. It is like, Hannah said it. Did you say it just like once? Or I don't know. I think you were saying it a few times and it just caught on that all of us started saying it. It's the best. Team, we need to make sure that's like on the page. If it's not, it should be on the page it should be in big letters on the page. Or in the app even, like, hey, replays, where do you have a bad day? Okay, let's see what else. What is one classroom or homeschool routine that you've simplified that made a huge difference in your energy? Let's talk about practical things you've done. And this can have to do with the club or not. Just like something you've done that has helped to streamline or make a difference in your energy this past school year. Go for it, Andrea. I love all the dogs. I should get mine coming in here.
Mine is super needy today, and I'm not quite sure why. He's not normal, and he's pressing the recline button. So I apologize. But anyway, I think one of the things that really works for me is just routine and consistency. No matter what you're doing, everything needs to be the same. Like that one little tweak of change, like the kids can be flexible, like they learn to be flexible, things might change. However, if it completely goes off the board, it's like, well, we're supposed to be doing this, why aren't we doing this? And then you get those little tiny behaviors because it's not the consistency, it's not the routine. So teaching the kids, like, we all know what we need to do at the beginning of the school year, you know, do all those things that we need to do, but teaching them flexibility when those things kind of switch is going to be super helpful as well. But just being consistent and having those routines is just the number one thing. Did I go off topic? I kind of just lost.
It doesn't matter. It's always good. It leads to Rome. All roads lead to Rome in coaching and these discussions. Like, it's always valuable, right?
This is what happens
You
when
all
you
know
stay
in the
up too
club.
late.
We go down rabbit holes sometimes. So that's kind of what we do as a community at times. So if you're down for the rabbit holes, we've got them for you.
Oh, I have plenty of those. But yeah,
a lot
routine,
of my strategies
consistency.
We got lots of people all fighting to share their ideas. I love it.
I'll go super quick. So a lot of my strategies are homeschool specific. I don't know if there's any homeschoolers here. If there are, let me know in the chat and I can share in the chat there. But one of the biggest things that's helped for me is teaching social emotional learning and life skills intentionally, like working on, like, you know, we have math and reading and science and all those subjects, but also taking a little time every day to talk about emotions or social skills or things like that. And that's made a big difference.
Yes, and we've got some homeschoolers replying in the chat too, Jen. So you're not alone in here with the homeschool.
Tagging on.
Chris, go ahead. Melinda.
I'm sorry. Tagging on with Jen, the life skills. One of the reasons why I thought it would be a good idea for me to get out of probation and into teaching is because I had a lot of offenders who had none of those practical life skills. And so even though I teach fourth grade, every lesson that we have, I try to connect it to real life. And where are we going to use? Where are we going to use angles out in the real world when we're done with school and no more testing? And so I've just have always put that in there. One of the ways, and then on my own for streamlining my life, I compartmentalize a lot in my world. And so I have a bag for weekdays and a bag for weekends. And so the things that aren't all that important go in my weekend bag. And the things like for grading and stuff go in my take home bag during the week. And by the end of the year, my take it home on the weekend bag stayed at school. So I was really excited about that because
Yes.
my teacher friends
Taking your weekends back.
Yes, I did.
I love it. And Kristen's giving you a heart right there.
All right. Thank you.
So is Christina. I love it. I love when you're all giving each other love. Okay, Chris, were you raising your hand too?
Yeah. So hopefully this goes along with all of this. One of the things, just because I've, been teaching for so long, and I've taught so many grades, so often I think teachers get hung up on the grade level, but I've had to change grades so many times, and I just try to remember, like, I try to think of it as I'm not really teaching a grade, I'm teaching kids. And I think that's kind of a big reason how I ended up with intervention, which now I love, because really I'm teaching kids, and even within the classroom, and I had to teach combos and these different things, and when I tried to just think of it that way, because that's really what we're doing. We're teaching kids more so than the grade level, and meeting them where they're at. And that kind of helps. I mean, obviously you have curriculum and it's still hard and all of that, but when you think of it that way, I think that kind of helps. And then from the wellness aspect, and because you really do have to take care of yourself first. And I fall into those old habits, and what really, because I was really struggling and shifting again from classroom teacher to intervention, I just felt so isolated and just so alone because I didn't have a team. I didn't have my, teacher bestie anymore. And it really was this club, this community. And so, once I felt connected again and making that a priority, and being connected again and making sure I stayed connected and really making that important, just made all the difference. So that's something I just make sure I stay with, and setting up those boundaries again and being more committed to that this year, and those boundaries. And
yes, those boundaries
yeah,
are
that
so
constant
important.
coaching, that constant coaching, like we have to do with the kids, with the reteaching, you have to
Yes.
keep using it.
Absolutely. And Vanessa, did you have your hand up, or were you just, I couldn't tell. Okay, you were just touching the screen.
I
Totally
was just
good.
agreeing with Chris and boundaries, and I think that's what made a big difference for me this year, was trying to set those boundaries. And I'm not always good at following through on them, but that made a big difference of trying to set the boundaries and stick to them.
Do you have an example of a boundary that you set?
One of them that I did at home was like trying, although now I'm at home on my phone, but trying to put my phone down and having that be the kid time, unless I was listening to a coaching call. I made that exception one day a week for coaching calls, but otherwise, like, that was my boundary of that. Or leaving on time became a big boundary of, nope, that'll be there tomorrow when I get there.
That's a great one. I mean, this just led in perfectly, because another question on my list is like, can you share a boundary that you a boundary or a mindset shift that's changed how you approach teaching. But I think boundaries are such a big one because we talk about them a lot, but then it's like, what are specific things you can set a boundary with? Does anyone else have another specific boundary that they put on themselves this year? I actually did the phone one myself too, Vanessa. Like, I even put like on Apple, I put the screen time on my phone, like, because I realized my kids have the like send request thing. And so I put it on myself. And I mean, I can just give myself time, but I mean, it actually pops up and it gives me that pause to be like, do I actually need to be scrolling Instagram right now? Or can it wait? But anybody else have an example they'd love to share? That's okay. That's another thing we can continue on in the next year, right? Is working on our boundaries. I'm seeing all the nods. We'll do it. We will do it. Kellyanne said, I have the Be Present app that sends me reminders every hour if I'm on my phone. It also locks my phone and only allows me to use apps I've set as necessary. That is so smart. I love that. Melissa has set an hour a day, Wednesday, that is only for me. It is a safe time for me to do whatever. Yes. And see, having that time. And one thing I love to talk about with that, like what you were talking about, is having that time and treating it just like it's any other appointment. We talk about this a lot in our intentional scheduling, the coaching calls we've done about that, and that chapter in my book where it's like, if you have this block of time on your Wednesday for self-care or that hour, if somebody is like, oh, hey, can you do this at this time? You can just say, oh, no, I have an appointment at that time. And that appointment could be an appointment with yourself. They don't even have to know. It's not their business. You can just say, I have a very important appointment. And actually saying that and doing that like once or twice makes you realize, oh, yeah, this is a very important appointment. It's just as important as if I had to go to the dentist, if not more, right?
We do
go to the
hermit days
dentist
sometimes as a family, on a weekend, especially after
hermit
things have been really
days.
busy. So we
Love
turn
that.
off the phones. We don't check emails. We don't leave the house. It's just the four of us at home and no extra noise from outside, and it's really refreshing.
I love that idea of hermit days. That is even just the name of it, I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds nice. I think I need a hermit day.
It's nice.
Deborah says, I do not check school emails at home and do not have school email on my phone. Yes, Brittany has timers on her phone. Melanie spends as little of her own money on classroom materials as possible. Jody limits the amount of money spent by asking on Facebook and my neighborhood site if anyone can donate. It is amazing how much people can donate when it is to a school. That is so smart. Like, use those resources that you have. Or oftentimes people don't think about like, oh, maybe could your admin pay for something for you? You can definitely ask. Like, it doesn't hurt to ask, right? I love seeing all your comments in the chat as well. Kristen sets 2 alarms at the end of the day. I set the first for 15 minutes after dismissal to start wrapping up. And the second one for 15 minutes later is for out the door. I do usually allow one night a week that I will stay longer to work on those projects, but sometimes don't need them now. This was recommended by my therapist the past 2 years. That is so smart. So those alarms are going, it's like, hey, it's time to start wrapping up. And hey, you should be out the door now. Here's that reminder. I love that. There are intentional things, like little tweaks that you can do that can make a huge, huge difference. Melissa says, wondering if a boundary I need to do is take my work email off my phone. A lot of us, you'll see in the chat, a lot of us have. And so it's definitely, some of us like, oh, I can't do that. But then you look at other teachers and see what's possible. Like, oh, they've done it. They've taken their work email off my phone, off their phone. So why not me? Right? I love that. So many great comments. I love how you're all sharing with each other. Okay, what I want to hear now too is, how has being in the Educate and Rejuvenate Club changed the way you show up in your classroom and in your life? Because a lot of these things you're sharing, a lot of it is because of you. Like, I'm not saying, oh, I'm taking credit for any of it. But a lot of the tools and strategies that you're learning here, how has what you've learned in the club changed the way you show up in your classroom, in your home, in your life?
I can speak to that.
Go
So
for it.
just the model that we talked about today, the circumstances, the thoughts, feelings, and actions and results. I feel like just knowing, oh, this is the sorry, can y'all hear that?
You're good.
Of course. The circumstances that are in my life are things that I can't control, but I can control my thoughts, feelings, and actions. And I learned this from the club, and I feel like it's really made a difference in how I look at certain situations and realize that, oh, that's my thought, and that's not a circumstance, or this is a circumstance, and I can choose how I want to think about it.
Yes, the model just made such a difference for me when I learned it. But now that we're doing it all together, like I loved my one-on-one coaching, but I can honestly say, like, us doing it together, like the fact that we're all here in this room together talking about it and how it works, is it just brings that magic to another whole level.
I can also, oh, sorry, Jen.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, I think the model for me too, sometimes I'm like, oh, my kids are being rude, or they're being disrespectful, or they're being this. I'm like, wait, is that a circumstance, or is that my thought? And then I can try and reframe it. And I feel like that's the most like basic part of the club, but it's really useful.
I was just going to add, especially when you had mentioned coaching calls, we're all unique and we all have our own experiences, but people are going through the same thing as you are. And at that moment of time, maybe they're just expressing a little more vulnerability and sharing it. So when you're there listening to them and they're working through it, maybe using the model, you feel less alone. You feel like, okay, this is not unique to me. This is something that other people are going through. So then it doesn't make you feel like a failure, or it doesn't make you feel like this is only happening to you and how am I going to get through this? I can't do this anymore. Other people are experiencing it. So it's something that other people are experiencing. You're not alone. And then hopefully that's going to give you the courage to then speak up and use what you've learned from that session to have more confidence and be vulnerable to maybe try a coaching session for the next one, because we're all in the same boat. Behaviors are happening everywhere. Burnout is happening all the time. Personal issues are happening everywhere. You may not have the same personal issues as somebody, but somebody could be feeling the same way that you're feeling, and maybe that will get you somewhere and make you feel a certain way to help you go move forward.
Amen to all of that. Chris has her hand up.
Yeah, I
just need to wait long enough. You all know I can talk. And I'm like, this is all your turn to talk.
I'm probably one that talks too much. But last summer I was just at a point where I just felt like I was such a mess, and I couldn't figure out why I was such a mess. I mean, I've been teaching so long, but everything just was falling apart. And, it was such a weird, like a juxtaposition where at a time in my career where I should feel confident, I was at such a low point. And then that's when, because of such a weird set of circumstances, I was able to come to the summer event, and then become a member, actually a lifer at the time when that was offered, which was just such a blessing. And that just turned everything around, and then from that, I did the coaching to set up boundaries, which was another just huge turning point, because I really needed that. I didn't even know how much I needed that. And then there was one more, when my dog passed away, and I just, I mean, for months, just struggled with that grief, which I am still struggling. I am still struggling with that grief, but I went through another coaching with Chrissy, and that just helped so much with that grief, where, I am still grieving, but that coaching through that has helped so much, where, anytime I've gone through one of those calls, or even watched somebody else go through a call, right afterwards, my husband can always tell a difference. So it's just, it makes such a difference. It really does. So that's been huge. You know, that whole community and the coaching, just really huge. And
Oh, yes.
the whole community, you know, just
Yes.
not being alone and isolated, you know, and spinning in those same thoughts. And just last summer, I felt so much like your sister, Tori, you know, like,
Yes.
you know, I was having more trouble in summer, and I'm like, it's summer. Why am I feeling like this? You know?
Yes.
And then I think I'm crazy, and just, yeah. And it's that spinning.
Yes. And well, it'll be better when it's summer. And then during summer, like, oh, it'll be better during the school year. Like you're just
Yeah,
like,
and
oh,
it's
wait,
like,
I'm just
wait,
like
what am I
repeating
doing?
this
Yeah.
cycle
Yeah, it's like, what am I
of
doing?
that.
I've waited all year for summer, and now it's summer and I'm spinning. What's going on? Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, from all the coaches and the community of peers. Yes, and we have Francini and Cami who come in and do calls every so often. Chrissy's like the OG guest coach, but we love bringing in guest coaches for another perspective as well. So you will get like sometimes you hear like me explain something, and then you hear Chrissy explain something, and then you hear Francini explain it, and then it hits differently when you hear it from other people. So it just brings even more depth to the experience. And what the other thing I love that you mentioned, Chris, was your husband notices a difference. I've noticed that too when I get coached, that like, oh yeah, my family notices that I'm a lot more pleasant to be around when when I'm recently coached and when I'm dealing with my own stuff. Okay, I forgot what the question even was. Did anyone else? I'm like, if I forgot, probably everyone forgot. Oh, it was, well, we can just do another one. How about that? Which part of the club do you find yourself coming back to again and again? Anybody can answer that one.
I would say the coaching is what even though I am not usually one to raise my hand and get coached, like I've done it a few times, but just listening to everybody get coached, that's what I usually make time for in my week and try and come back for. There was a time where like financially it wasn't really working, so I had taken a break from the club, and I noticed that I was different. And then it was like right when one of the winter ones, so it was like a $5 special. I'm like, I'm gonna do it again. And it's just, it was like, nope, I have to do this for myself because I'm different, even if I'm not the one being coached, and just listening to that. So I would say the coaching is what keeps bringing me back.
Yes, and I love that you joined us again, and you're always welcome to come back, anybody. We're not like, oh, like why did it's like we're here for you when you need it. But what I loved that you mentioned was that that you notice that difference yourself too. So like everybody else, like other people can notice it, you notice that difference too when you're being coached. And the one thing I've noticed on my end with you, Vanessa, is that you are there a lot actually. Like we have like a lot of names will pop up and it's like, oh yeah, like this person is usually there. And then it's so fun because even though like you usually don't raise your hand to get coached, like you're there, you're still getting so much out of it, even when you're not the one being coached. And that's what's so awesome about it too. And Jody in the chat says, I also find it amazing how much what I have heard coaching for are things that we share in common. It truly does help to hear others being coached. 100%. It helps us realize that shared humanity that is a big part of self-compassion, realizing that, oh, what I'm going through, I'm not going through alone. Even though for this person, it looks a little bit different than it does for me. We're going through the same stuff. We're feeling the same emotions. And I can relate to their experience. And it's really just coming together is so powerful. Jen says, I love the. Oh, go,
Sorry.
please.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just reading Jen's comment, but you go first.
Something that brings me back to the club a lot, especially like I'm in my baseball era now. We've been doing baseball since February. We only have one tournament left, maybe. It's taken up my entire summer. But something that usually brings me back if I seem to, because it's been a while since I've joined a session just because of time conflicts. But is when we do challenges. Who doesn't love a little good competition, right?
Yes.
So I always find like the challenges are really fun too. Like it's not about the prizes. It's just the like, how many can I get? And it's just a self competition with myself, really. But I find when we do those competitions, I get drawn back in. And not that I don't, or I said that wrong. That don't take that way.
Drawn back in, like we're like,
Right.
you're
Oh,
trapped.
no, but if I find myself that I've become a little distant and I get the emails and I check in every once in a while if I haven't been present, and then I'm like, ooh, a challenge. And then it's like I'm back. So it's just
It
those little,
gamifies it.
yeah. But
The challenges
that's
are
just another
so
thing.
fun, and
Mhm.
they're usually like, come to coaching. Like they're usually like things that are like helping you utilize what you've invested in, what you're wanting to do. That's why you made the purchase, right? We really like, we aren't here to be like, oh, please join our membership and then forget about it. So we like, that's not our goal. Our goal is for you to get so much out of it. So we do these challenges that help you to, do what you said you were going to do and come and do this all with us. Come and do it together. And it's really fun. We're just wrapping up one. We had one with the club where you were able to, share with some friends about this event and do your sign and different things. And those stories that we shared on slides were from that contest we did. But we have one coming up that's going to be really geared towards both current members and all the new friends coming in to help us get acquainted or reacquainted with the membership and all the new things and help you to utilize it. And it's going to be a lot of fun with a lot of prizes. Hannah, you had your hand up.
Yes, I just wanted to say you were asking about one thing that you return to in the club that's helping you throughout your daily life. And I just wanted to say that I have this book right here that you wrote, and it kind of is like, I know, it's just like a guidebook for everything you'd ever taught me in the club, and now it's all written out. And it's just so helpful because I learned a lot of different things, but then once you put together in a framework, it really helped me to just really understand everything I'd learned. So it's really great. Thank you, Kelsey.
Oh, thank you, Hannah. And yes, the book is available to everybody it's not included in the club because if I self-published it, it would be, but I published it with teacher goals. So I'm not allowed to do that. But you can get it on Amazon, Target, Barnes and Noble, all of that. This is like really a lot of the stuff we teach in the club in here. And I highly they really go together well because the book like is a lot of the like, here are the tools and things, but then the club is like, how are we implementing it? And we're also diving a bit deeper this year in a lot of things that like maybe got a paragraph in the book, but we're going to really dive into it throughout the next year. Like the part about the different levels of thoughts, that's like one page in the book, but we're going to make sure we really get into that deeper than we ever have this year. So they go really well together. Okay, let's see. We've got 5 minutes left. So for those who are here and have a burning question you want answered by our club members, if you're thinking about, maybe you're on the fence and you're like, should I join this? And Jody bought her book today. Thank you. And who was that, Jen? Who said that you should? If you have any
My
questions,
favorite
like
part of the
yes, go for it, Sarah.
I guess my favorite part of the club or being part of this community is just that community aspect. Like if I have a terrible day at work with something, I can post a comment in the Facebook group and other people can give advice or suggestions. It's a feeling like I'm not alone. Because sometimes teaching is a lonely place when you work in a small school district. You're your own, like teaching special ed. I was the only sped teacher in my building. Everybody else is miles away. So, but to be able to collaborate or lean on other people, I had this situation. Does anybody have suggestions of how to fix it? How to make my day better tomorrow? I just like that, whether it's a coaching replay I could go back to or just getting feedback from others. It's great.
Yes, I love that we're a community and we lift up and support each other. And Patricia is here. She said she joined us live for last summer, but love that I can be away for a bit and then come back, and it is welcoming and it's like coming back to visit friends I have not seen for a while, even though I never actually met the person online or in person.
Wasn't that panel incredible? I just love all of these women so much. You know, that research that maybe you've heard me talk about it on the podcast, or I cited it in my book, about how we become the average of the people we spend the most time with. I think about that a lot as a teacher because so many of us are surrounded by other teachers who are exhausted or overwhelmed or counting down to the next break. And there's nothing nothing wrong with those people. In fact, teaching can be so overwhelming, but it can also become the water we swim in without even realizing it. Sometimes we tend to bring each other down, but the people you just heard, that is who you are surrounding yourself with when you join us in the club. And it's not that we never like talk about the hard stuff, because we do, but we talk about it in a way where we are also doing that inner work and setting boundaries and keeping them. Or people who show up on a coaching call on a hard day and leave feeling like they can breathe again. And we remind each other, when you have a bad day, there's always a replay. That is the reference group that research shows changes things. So if this conversation resonated with you, you can be in the room with this. You could join us and be part of this community to support you now through the next school year and beyond. You can find everything about the club at educateandrejuvenate.com/club. And in the club, not only do you surround yourself with this amazing community, but you'll also have the 3 things that I talk about that really help the and life that I talk about, where you can educate and rejuvenate come to life. And that's where you have the self-coaching tools where you know how to talk yourself out of those spirals. You really, truly know how to do that. You have a coach, that would be me, to help you see your blind spots and help you in real time. And also the community to surround yourself with. And the club is the perfect combination of all those, plus bonus amazing things like resources and events and all of it. So I would love to become your coach and welcome you into the club. You can find out information at educateandrejuvenate.com/club. With that, we'll talk soon on the podcast here as well. Thank you for joining me on Educate and Rejuvenate, the podcast today. If you love what you heard in this episode, be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And if you're hungry for even more, be sure to check out the book that I wrote. It's called Educate and Rejuvenate, a 3-step guide to revitalize your teaching, renew your spirit, and reignite your passion for life. It takes everything you learn here on the podcast and that I teach our members inside the Educate and Rejuvenate Club into a guidebook you can refer to again and again. One of our early readers said it was like clarity for her brain. Plus, it's not only a book. With your purchase, you'll get a full PDF guide with exercises and links to videos and more, so that you can not only consume but apply everything that you learn. If you're ready to make Educate and Rejuvenate not just a podcast you passively listen to, but a lifestyle that you put into action, it's time to grab your copy on Amazon today. Or head to educateandrejuvenate.com/book to read the first chapter and the introduction today.